Hello, hi, welcome. Amy here, and I'm spontaneously jumping on Periscope. I've just had a beautiful brunch and I was driving home and I have to go back out to pick up my husband shortly. But I'm coming to you from home and wanted to jump on Periscope quickly because I've had something on my mind, and that is minimalism and moving toward it, a more minimalistic life. And I was reading a website yesterday from Mystic Mama. I don't know if you've heard of Mystic Mama, but she does astrology and astral insights and different amazing things. And there's a full moon coming up within or less than 24 hours. And this full moon, apparently, according to her, is a really great time to, hi Belinda, is a really great time to declutter. I think that the website said declutter. And anyhow, the point is that I've had all these signs, all these things coming into my life lately about minimalism and decluttering and all that kind of stuff. So what I wanted to share with you over Periscope is my recommendations of the websites that I've been on and the books I've been diving into. And, you know, there's been definite things that have popped up lately that have really amplified this, or really driving it home of how important this needs to be for me in my life. And I think that it's kind of significant for everybody. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of clutter and a lot of excess in our lives. And so I think that we can all benefit from reducing, minimalizing, and finding what we value and finding some space and clarity. So first off the bat, I just want to let you know about 3 websites that I love for this kind of thing that keep me on track. So I find that we're bombarded a lot through the media with following people and reading stuff and seeing stuff and trying to post stuff ourselves. And so there's 3 websites that I love checking out, and I get in my email. I sign up to their mailing lists, and I always get something out of it when I read something from them. So the first one is Zen Habits. I'm not sure if you have heard of Zen Habits, but if you Google Zen Habits, you'll definitely get the website. It's a black and white, super stripped back, bare website, and it's written by a guy called Leo. He's from the US. Amazing. He has an amazing program. It's called the Sea Change program, and you do a different theme per month to basically overhaul your whole life in different sections and in different ways, and just challenging yourself in different ways. So Zen Habits, that's the first website. The second website is called The Minimalists. Now, I'd heard of this a lot before, and I'd always ignored kind of the calling, and I jumped on their website about a week ago, and I absolutely loved it. Like, their blog posts are so short, sweet, and snappy, and so powerful. So check out theminimalists.com. And then also Alexandra Franzen. She's a writer, and she's totally got herself completely off social media. Hey, Tams. Alexandra Franzen has got herself off every form of social media. That's it. She only has a website and a mailing list, and that's it. And she's got this thriving business. So she speaks a lot to sort of that indirectly to a minimalistic inspired life on in her emails when she sends them out. I love them. Super packed, super actionable. So they're 3: Zen Habits, The Minimalists, and Alexandra Franzen. And then, of course, there is a gem of a book that's kind of infamous for this kind of topic, and that is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. It's a Japanese art, and the lady is Marie Kondo, I think. And I just recently got her book downloaded through iBooks, and it's so far so good. And she's amazing. She's on Instagram, and you can actually tidy up with her. She has weekly themes and stuff, so that's really cool. But what I did yesterday, and I do this every 6 months, and this is really, really awesome, guys. This is the fastest way to sort of have a bit of a digital detox. There is a website called Unroll.me, unroll.me, M-E. So unroll.me, and you go onto their website, you punch in your email address, and they'll then ask for your, yes, exactly. Thank you, Tammy. That's exactly right. Then you have to put in your email password so it hooks up to Gmail or Hotmail or whoever you're with. And it basically scans your entire email system and it shows you how many mailing lists that you are on, whether or not you realize it or not, whether or not you really signed up to it or not, because most often in terms and conditions, say you entered a competition or something, you also get entered into the database system of a lot of other companies. So I go on to Unroll Me every 6 months, and I usually wipe out about 90% of who I'm signed up with, and I realize how many I'm signed up with and how many I didn't. I invite you to jump on that website ASAP and go through and see. You'll be very surprised. And as I said, I do this every 6 months, and I actually have 3 email accounts because I have a personal one, a business one, and an old one under my maiden name. And thank you for the blue heart. That's my favorite color. So I went on there. Okay, so yesterday, oh, and pink, beautiful. And I had like 270 subscriptions. And this is since I signed up. I would have done a clear out on this website 6 months ago. Crazy, crazy. So Unroll Me is the fastest way to unsubscribe to all the junk and the stuff that you don't want to be signed up to. It's super fast and so easy. I just don't know why anyone would not do it. So punch in every email account you have, go in there and cleanse that bad boy out. And then the other thing that I did, and this is keeping in line with this whole minimalistic theme that has come up to a peak the last probably 3 weeks. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, this full moon is meant to be a time of decluttering your life in many ways. I have a personal Facebook account and I have a business page for myself as a yoga teacher and practitioner of Ayurveda. And I don't really use my personal account. I don't really post stuff on it. I don't put pictures or photos. I don't do status updates or anything like that. It's just there. All my photo albums are now private. You can't see any of my past photo albums. You can't see anything that anyone's tagged me, and I've just made it super streamlined. And so I realized it was kind of pointless, and I set up like a ghost or dummy account and authorized access to my business page. So when I want to access my business page, I don't need to log into my personal account that I've been using because it's distracting, as I'm sure you can appreciate. I don't know if any of you guys watching find that your newsfeed is very distracting, but I'm sure you do. And so I sometimes log in through my dummy account to access my business page. But not everyone has a business page. And what I did 12 months ago was I deleted 3,500 friends on my personal account. And I don't have 3,500 friends, so I probably don't need to even validate why I did that. But I kind of got sucked into the vortex of saying yes to people that I used to go to primary school with, high school with, that I don't even see them. And my life has changed. I'm a different person to who I was, 10 years ago. And my life is very different. My priorities are different. And even a lot of the people I worked with going back 5-10 years ago, I don't have anything to do with anymore. And we don't have things in common. And I want to take myself off their friends list as well. I want to declutter their friends list. I want to do them a favor. And so I deleted 3,500. I'm not kidding you. And then a couple of months after that, I deleted like another 300, etc. And I'm down to about 400 friends on Facebook now. So I think I had just over 4,000. And I'd been accepting friends requests of other yogis, and I also wanted to connect with other senior teachers and leaders within my community, even though I'd not met them before. And it just wasn't worth it. And now I just follow business pages because if I love them and I want to know what they're up to, I follow their business pages. And then I also went through a stage of basically unfollowing everyone on Instagram because I was getting distracted by it. And yeah, it was really liberating. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and do that if you need to do that, if you just need to delete. And it's the secret I have for you. Here is the secret. Facebook makes it really hard to delete your friends list en masse but there's a way around it. You have to delete on your friends list on your phone, not on like a laptop or a computer. The way you do it on a computer is like this. Oh, it is so slow. You go to your friends list, then you have to click on the profile of the person you want to unfriend. It has to load their profile, then you go up and unfriend them, and then it reloads the page and takes you back to home, and then you have to go to your friends list. Seriously, imagine if I did that for 3,500 people. So when you go onto your friends list on your iPhone or your phone, it just says unfriend, unfriend, unfriend. And, you know, it sounds like a horrible thing to do. Even the word unfriend and delete sounds like horrible. But it's not done with that intention. It's like, you know what? I want to let you get on with your life. I'm going to get on with my life. And it's as simple as that. Life went on before Facebook. And look, don't get me wrong. I love it. And it's really actually important for me as a business tool. But it's just a distraction. I'd prefer connect with you over the phone or in person, really. So I love to stay friends with the people that I don't get to see very often. My husband's family is overseas, and my sister lives away, and, you know, that kind of thing. But that's it. It's getting less and less essential and important. So anyway, moving on. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth thing I've been doing lately is I went onto my iPhone, and I read somewhere recently, again, I've had all these sort of synchronistic things come up about minimalism. And someone said, if you haven't used an app on your phone within, I think it was 5 weeks or something, delete it. So that's what I did. I had all these like free apps for like editing photos and putting words on photos and then having a self timer and all this junk. So I detoxed my iPhone. I almost deleted the Facebook app, but I didn't. But I turned off all my notifications, which I did earlier this year. However, I turned them back on when I went to Bali recently in June. And I didn't turn them off again. So my notifications are off, and I love it. It's so good. Particularly if you've got Facebook Messenger on your phone, that's an icky one. Get the notifications turned off. Highly recommended. So yeah, if you haven't used an app on your iPhone within 5 weeks, get rid of it. And if it's free, if you really want it, you can re-download it again. So I did a massive clothing closet clear out and took some clothes down to the charity bin yesterday, and I was holding on to pieces of clothing that were still really in good condition, and there were the pieces of clothing that I was like, oh yeah, but maybe one day, but I can envision it with this and wearing that. Yeah, good, Tammy, do it, go for it. And like and we moved house. We moved here 18 months ago, so I had a massive clear out, and I brought stuff over with me. And so in 18 months, I know for a fact that I have not worn these things. 18 months, because we moved here 18 months ago. So I know for sure what I've worn in that time. And I just was like, I was in one of those moods where I made a yes pile and a maybe pile. And I took my whole maybe pile to the charity bin. It was the best thing ever. And now I realized, like, what the hell was I holding on to that stuff for? And I was holding on to it for a long time. You know, and I think that we justify it because we spent money on it. We think, well, I spent money on this. I don't want to throw it out. Maybe I should sell it at the markets. And I've had a lot of those markets. And geez, they're a lot of effort. I think for the money I make, I may as well be working, doing what I love and making money another way, rather than just trying to make money on my old clothes. So yeah, like I've done the market thing and I'm over it now. It's too much hassle, just to sell old clothing. So, maybe a faster way is to take pictures and put them up on Facebook. I do have some yoga clothes that I kept, onto that are in great condition. I've got stuff that's still with tags attached, and I'm going to, see if I've got colleagues and friends that want to, buy them. Because, you know, I've got friends and colleagues that would definitely get the wear out of them. And then if not, I'm sure my mum will probably want to steal them, or I'll put them in a charity bin. So, but as for my day-to-day clothes, I'm all about quality now over quantity. I'm actually willing to spend more money on a piece of clothing than have lots of pieces of clothing. I actually have bought, I'm saying all this minimalistic stuff, and I bought clothes this week, but I do not buy clothes. I probably buy clothes like once I don't even know, every 6 months or something. But I bought some really high quality classic stuff, including this shirt that I'm wearing right now. It's a classic white shirt by Australian designers Maury and Eve, and it's amazing cotton and quality, and I know I'll have it probably for the rest of my life, actually. So that's also where I've been in my mindset, my headspace. Okay, if I'm going to buy something, okay, what's the quality of it? Where does it come from? Has it come from overseas? I don't buy clothes since, yeah, times, like, I got so much stuff from back then and I can still wear it all, you know? But also, would you believe, Tammy, I'm still holding on to clothes that I used to wear, like when we used to work on cruise ships. For those of you watching, Tammy, who's commenting, and myself, we used to dance professionally on cruise ships. And, you know, back in those days, I used to wear, like, you know, cute little dresses and like sparkly heels and all this stuff, and it's like, this is a totally different life. And my mom and dad have like a suitcase and of all that kind of stuff at home, and I've been thinking about it. I need to go to I don't know, I'm sure there's some of you out there that have stuff at your parents' house, just like, or at a family member's house or somewhere in storage or something, and you just need to go and just get rid of it. Because you would have heard it before, people saying, you know, I don't even remember what's in there. And if someone just chucked it out, I wouldn't even know because I don't really remember. And that's what I kind of need to do. Oh, awesome, Belinda. Yeah, I know. It's funny, as I've been mentioning with all this stuff, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. For a long time. This has been a like sort of an accumulating theme, sort of subtly for the last probably year or so. But for some reason, the last 3 weeks, like everything, that book I recommended, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, I saw it 3 times, 3 separate posts within 3 days on Instagram. I wasn't searching for it, I swear. And just stuff like that. And it's just been so significant, so in my face. And then I read my horoscope yesterday, which was not for me personally, but the general horoscope for the full moon. And one of the big themes was decluttering your life. And I was like, okay, bam. All right. So, yeah, so look, I hope all this information is useful to you. But the great thing about clothing as well is I think it's less laundry, which that might not sound true because you think, well, I've got less clothes, I need to wear them more frequently, so I need to wash them more. But you know what? This is just my opinion, but we don't need to wash our clothes as much as what we do. Like most things you can wear a couple of times, unless you're sweating in it. I like to hang stuff, air it out, and save water, save the environment. And yeah, so I think that we probably don't need to do as much laundry as maybe what we think we do. And in saying that, I've got laundry on right now, but that's because it piled up and piled up and piled up. And because when I was doing my decluttering of my wardrobe, more cupboard space. Absolutely. And then things don't get so musty and gross. But when I went through all my stuff, again, all the things I wanted to keep that I hadn't worn because maybe they're summer stuff and right now it's winter, I've just gone and put a load of laundry on to keep them fresh because I want to keep the quality of my clothes. I don't want them to get moldy or stinky or whatever. So yeah, I've just put a massive load of laundry on. I've also cleaned out my bag, my handbag that I carry around every day, cleaned it all out, like random tissues, highlighters, pens, old lip balms, all that kind of stuff, and it weighs a lot less. And I've just cleaned out my purse as well, and laundry was taking over my life. 2 kids. I don't have kids yet, but gosh, I can only imagine. Boy, all the laundry you have to get through. And yeah, so cleaning out my purse. And if any of you out there know Denise Duffield-Thomas, she's a money mindset coach from Newcastle where I live, and she's amazing, huge online following. I'm pretty sure it was her blog like 12 months, 2 years ago that I read saying, you know, when you clean out your purse, it's a sign to the universe that you want to welcome more money into your life. So you're lightening, clearing space in your purse, because if it's full with stuff and junk, you can't fit any more money in. And I just like that. I like that mentality, you know. For me, it's like, yeah, I'm streamlining, I'm cleaning it up, I'm bringing high quality into my life. I deserve it, and I don't need the burden of carrying junk and membership cards and plastic and all this stuff I never use. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I've done that. The other thing I've done actually is cleared out all my shoes. I have so many pairs of shoes that I don't wear. Geez, I'm such a Havaianas girl, barefoot girl, thongs girl. Like, Yeah, just get rid of them. I've got shoes that I used to buy. I used to be a manager at General Pants, if you know the store General Pants. And of course, working in retail, you become addicted to buying stuff because you get amazing discounts. And I just have shoes and things from back then, like Converse and everything, and they just need to go, and they're getting gross now just because they're not being worn, believe it or not. So they're better on the feet of people who need them. So I'm a real Aussie girl at heart. I get through winter barefoot as much as I can, which is, probably not the best thing, but hey, I haven't been getting sick for 3 years now, since my life has become healthier and healthier. So love feeling my feet on the earth. What can I say? But shoes are a big one. And again, I'm getting rid of all the heels I used to wear years ago when I used to wear heels. And I'm actually going to go out and buy a pair and invest in a really, really great pair that I love, that are neutral, that go with everything I have. Because I wouldn't wear my old ones anyway. And look, I think it's important to mention at this point that minimalism is not about throwing things away or getting rid of a lot of stuff. It's also about wearing and using what you already have. So I don't want to give that impression, because I wouldn't wear these shoes I've got. They don't really fit me. They're old, they're falling apart, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I'd prefer them get into the hands of somebody who needs them. But I'm by no means throwing things away just to go out and replace them all. I'm throwing away generally the things that I don't use at all, and they're just taking up space. But there are a couple of things that I'd like to go out and buy, and it's like resetting, starting fresh. Yeah, so that's shoes. And then the other day I did our kitchen cupboard. I'm now thinking about this. I've done a lot, actually. A kitchen cupboard, pulling out everything. I haven't actually finished it, but I did like the massive top shelf and realized all these teacups and teapots and saucers. I used to work at a tea shop. All this stuff. Oh boy. Got rid of a lot of that and gave it to my mum to take to the local charity shop, and then I cleaned out underneath. How many plastic bags did I have? Wow. So I neatly arranged all bags by reusable bags, plastic bags, gift bags that I can put presents in and stuff, so that I don't have to buy wrapping and boxes and all that stuff when I give gifts to people. And I've got the plastic bags all shoved inside a big plastic bag, and I'm going to start using them. So I actually didn't put them back in the cupboard. I can see them where I am right now, and they're there to remind me if I need a bag, use it, like at least get use out of it. There's nothing you can do to break these bags down, but they now exist. So yay, yes, I know. It's just the best that I can do with them. So I'm just trying to make the best choices with what I have, I guess. But kitchen's a good one, because it's good to see what you haven't used in a long time. A lot of things are out of date. A lot of things will be off. Or pulling out things that you think, oh wow, I used to eat this all the time. Let's whip this up for dinner or whatever. But also getting rid of things that you just don't eat, but pass them on. Of course, if they're out of date, throw them. But think about wastage as well. Like maybe your mum or dad might eat it or drink it or use it or whatever, or maybe your neighbor will or someone. See if there's a way that you can at least use up stuff that hasn't gone off. I don't think we really had anything to throw away, because I keep our fridge and our cupboard pretty fresh and buy new ingredients quite frequently. But that's a really, really good one, and it gives you a good indication as to what do I actually need to also add into my pantry to know that I'll also eat healthy and make my life easier? Do I need to just go and buy glass jars and store and sort everything so that, I'm buying glass jars, but then my situation is more sorted and organized so that I will use what I have and use it more wisely and efficiently, and just be way more organized and feel more calm and grounded when I'm preparing food. So kitchen cupboard and fridge is definitely a big one. Another one is clutter around the house. So when we moved house 18 months ago, it was really, really lovely to move into a house and give everything a specific place, and then to also get rid of the things that are just dust collectors. I know that I have a couple of boxes in my old cupboard at my parents' house with knick-knack junky things that I used to buy traveling overseas, all those souvenir-y decory things. I've got like a camel from Egypt and a cat from Egypt and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, Tams, you can probably relate, I'm sure, you know, and then a picture from Greece and then all this stuff, and none of it goes together, let alone in our new house. And it's just silly. So, you know, you get all wrapped up in travel and like magnets and key rings and just junk. So, I even looked around our house, even since we've moved in 18 months, to go, what have we accumulated? And I've got all this incense and candles. I'm like, right, I'm going to light those candles and those incense every day to really enjoy them and then not replace them. Let's just get rid of it all and have one candle, one packet of incense, one this, one that. And just have favorite pieces, because they're dust collectors, and it means you have to work harder to clean your own house when you've got dust collectors. And just like when you go on your Facebook feed and you feel like the news feed is cluttered, or you feel like the online world is cluttered with advertising and marketing, you don't want your house to feel that way either. Yeah, total time waster. So you've got all this stuff. See if your family wants it, if you've got paintings, pictures, or whatever, can you give it away? Can you sell it? Can you give it to charity, a friend, family member, etc.? So have a look around the house. Do you really need 50 candles or 5 candles? Do you really need the glass figurines and the things that we put in the glass cabinet? And, you know, do you really need to store your good china? What, like, because you think, oh, well, what if I break it? And this is what kills me. You know, we got some really beautiful things for our wedding a few years ago, and I say to my husband, no, we're going to use it. Because, yeah, okay, we might break it, which we haven't broken anything yet, but like, that's why we got it. Printed photos, school yearbooks, cards. I would condense them. Pick your favorites out of all of them, and condense them down to like one book or one box. So don't get rid of everything, but go, okay, what can I take from this year? Or what can I take from that stage of, is this to do with your children? Is that what you mean? Or for yourself? I'm wondering. But also photos, if you've got printed photos, for yourself. Yeah, okay. I've kind of wondered about that too. My parents still have everything. I think scanning things is a really good idea. It's a tough one because it's kind of like nostalgic, where all those kinds of belongings from our childhood, like photo albums and stuff, were around before the digital times. And I think that they're actually going to be really special to share with our children and go, this is what life used to be like. But school stuff, I don't know. I don't care for my school stuff. Yeah, photo albums won't exist anymore. Yeah, which is kind of sad actually, because there's something really special about sitting with family members and flipping through a photo album. I probably do it once every 2 or 3 years at my parents' house, and I really like it. But think about this. What if, and I don't mean to get too serious and too deep, but what if a bushfire or a fire, you had a fire in your house and it was all gone? Life would go on. Like, you'd be devastated, but what would be more important than those photo albums and things would be building your life in the present moment, finding what you need now. Like, what do we need now to support ourselves? The things that are relative to you in the present moment would be most important. Photographs would be quite devastating to lose them all. I think it's worth scanning your favorites. My parents started doing stuff like that and converting VHS to DVD, which is a really expensive process, but you just have to prioritize. I have so many like dancing videos from when I was a kid, and it's really fun to look at them, but I don't expect my parents to convert them to DVD. It's too expensive. And yeah, I don't know. It is a tough one. It's a tough one. I think prioritize. Yeah, we forget so much until we see the picture again. Yeah, we do, which is why I think it's good to look at the pictures and reflect back, but we don't need all the pictures. I mean, do you need every photo that's sitting on your iPhone right now? Do we really look at them? No. It's the same with photo albums. So pick your favorites and keep your favorites and get rid of the rest. I know that that's what my mum did when my grandparents passed away. She went through all their photo albums and she just kept all the best ones, like a small selection in a tiny little box, and got rid of all of them. Would I be sad if I lost in a fire? Yeah, I think it's good to question yourself in that way. You know, if this was taken from me, if they were burnt in a fire, like what is it that would devastate me? What would I really wish I had? Would it just be that one photograph, or would it be, you know, that, you know, my favorite blanket as a kid? Like pick the most important out of all of it and get rid of the rest. Yeah, think about that with every single thing. If this was burnt in a fire, or my house was broken into and I don't know, whatever, and I no longer had this anymore, how would I feel about it? Yeah, so a little bit of a diversion, but I think that that's really beautiful to address for sure. So, but yeah, otherwise, cleaning clutter, all the general knickknacks, and you know, I had someone buy me a beautiful vase and gift it to me 12 months ago. It's beautiful, but it's not me at all. And it's like, I don't want to say it just in case that person sees this, which I really highly doubt they would, but it's gorgeous, and it was still in bubble wrap, and I took it to the charity shop. So they've got a beautiful new vase there. I'm not using it. I've got so many vases here again from our wedding, so just don't need it. So all those little things. And then another thing I've been really thinking about lately is food packaging. There was a sort of a huge campaign on the internet recently towards Coles and Woolworths about all their organic food. People saying, we want to buy organic, but everything you have is in styrofoam with plastic packaging, which I totally understand, because they're separating the organic food from the non-organic, because there's so many dodgy people out there that would just take the organic and take it through the checkout and say it's not organic. So there's got to be another way. There's got to be another way. Gosh, I don't know the answer, whether or not they're all sold behind the counter at the deli, and I don't know, somehow I don't know, you pay for them there or whatever, you get the sticker or something. But yeah, so I've been really questioning packaging, and I've been shopping heaps at my local organic shop, which I adore. And you know, it makes a huge difference. And when I think about how many times we need to empty our bin, yeah, all organic. Yeah, well, look, we do mostly organic because where I buy it, it's actually really well priced. There's a couple of foods that I don't buy organic all the time because they've got thick skin. Like sometimes bananas and avocados I don't. And of course, when you go to an organic shop, you're not always able to get all the things you need or want, but there's certain non-negotiables, certain things that I will not buy unless it's organic, and if I can't get it organic, I won't buy it. Like, too bad. But food waste and food packaging's a big one. So if we can just buy all fresh food, fruit, vegetables, greens, grains like rice, and nuts and seeds in bulk. So if any of you are in Australia, I'm a huge fan of sauce, bulk foods. And I don't mean like tomato sauce. I mean like the sun is the source of light. So sauce bulk foods, they deliver online, but they have some shops in Sydney and I'm sure probably elsewhere in Australia. They're epic, buy in bulk, and when you buy from them, they serve everything in paper bags, so there's no plastic waste. Just amazing. You can get so much stuff from them, high quality food in bulk, cheaper than buying non-organic in the supermarket when you buy it in bulk from them. It's awesome. Highly recommended. So that's what I try and do. I try to buy everything in bulk, or, you know, I make certain things myself, or I buy fresh from markets or organic shops. Of course, I'm not going to lie. Occasionally I have to drop into Woolworths, and I pick Woolworths over Coles because I'm pretty sure Coles is American owned and Woolworths, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is Australian owned. And it's kind of connected to my Qantas credit card points. So I don't go there for that, but if I'm going to pick Coles or Woolworths, I go to Woolworths for sure. And I find they have a better selection, a better range, and they also support Australian farmers a little bit better than Coles do. So that's my backup plan if I have to go shopping at a random hour or need something I just can't get organic. So and then, okay, so just a couple more things. I do have to go. My husband's going to be wondering where I am. But buying recycling products. I remember seeing a quote maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like, what's the point in recycling if people don't buy recycled products? Bang on the head. Like, seriously, what are we recycling for? You put your things in the recycling, and then what do you actually buy that's been recycled? So we buy recycled toilet paper, and we buy recycled paper towel. and I buy recycled paper to print on. When I've got to print things off for my clients and workshops and stuff, I always print on recycled paper. I often buy recycled woods and plastics and things like pens, and there's eco brands out there now that you can buy a lot of glass and plasticky and wood stuff. And then obviously just buying things with eco materials. So my hairbrush is bamboo, and I bought a really cool pen the other day. It was bamboo pen, and just sustainable materials and that kind of thing. They tend to last longer, which means we don't have to replace them with as much frequency as well, which means more simplicity and minimalism. And then I was going to suggest also diet. So how can we bring the practices of minimalism into our diet? And I think, Tammy, you're a great example at this, but and being on the Ayurvedic cleanse that I did recently made me realize this. You know, I love food. I am like food obsessed. When we travel, I travel for food. I prefer go and eat an amazing meal than go and see a touristic site. And I love making food, cooking food, talking about food, buying it, blah, blah, blah. But a food satisfaction, I think, is a little bit more for us mentally. And I think that it's really helpful to streamline what you eat. Like, just if you eat a really well-balanced diet every day, you could eat the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And there's a lot of leaders out there in the community that do that. I can't give you an example of one, but I know I've read about it. And there's this guy who he's like, yeah, I eat this for breakfast, this for lunch, this for dinner, and I do it on repeat 365 days of the year, unless I have a special occasion. But I eat the same food, and it's a totally well-balanced diet every day. And so why would I bother with anything else? I love the food. Yes, Tammy, that's so true. Your palate changes. And that's what happened when I became vegetarian. I'm not vegan, but pretty close to. I don't eat dairy every day, that's for sure. But I don't promote that I'm vegan, because I'm not vegan. Because a lot of people say they're vegetarian most of the time, and I'm like, well, that's not vegetarian. You're either vegetarian or you're not. But you know, no hard feelings, but I'm not going to say I'm a vegan, because I'm not a vegan, because I do occasionally buy beautiful Australian biodynamic organic double cream brie cheese that's made from with grass-fed cow milk, etc. And I make my own ghee, so ghee is really revered in Ayurveda, and I know some people here that supply milk direct from the beautiful cows that they have that are treated really humanely, and etc. Anyhow, so I think that streamlining what you eat is really, really useful. So just eating very simple, similar foods every day. If you're eating an abundance of fruit and vegetables and good legumes and rice and small amounts of nuts and seeds, I think that there's a little bit excessive amounts of nuts and seeds being eaten, or nuts probably more. Like, people are getting so obsessed with nut milks and raw nut-based desserts and nut this and nut that, and nuts and seeds are really hard to digest. And we, as in the Western world, we're just eating too much protein, full stop. We just don't need it. Kind of makes me cringe, all the protein powders. Anyway, that's a whole other Periscope altogether. But hey, just see if you can streamline. Pick your favorite foods. Yeah, such high fat. Totally. Fats are great, but again, yeah, we don't need to eat so much of it. Anyway, oh my goodness, I could talk forever, clearly, which anyone that knows me well knows that. So, okay, I just got a text from my husband, so I have to get off now, guys. He's like, where are you? Yes, fill your kitchen with the staples, find your go-to recipes, keep everything simple. Okay. I'm going to go run, Forrest, run. I know, I'm going to go. I'm not going to tell him that I did a Periscope. He's not on Periscope anyway, so he won't know. Love you all. Thank you for the heart. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's inspired you. I hope it's been useful. Let me know if you have any questions. You can find me on Instagram, Amy E. Landry. My website is amyelandry.com. I'm on Facebook, Amy Landry. I would love to connect with you. If you don't know me, I'm on the east coast of Australia. I'm a yoga teacher and practitioner of Ayurveda, and I love all things healthy and vibrant. And yeah, have a great day, guys. I look forward to chatting with you very soon. Ciao. Mwah.